The town of Havenwood was draped in silence. A silence so deep, it felt like holding your breath. Empty streets stretched out under a sky the color of ash. The wind whispered through the trees, carrying secrets. I had lived in Havenwood my whole life. Never a sound louder than the church bell. Until the day I found him, a boy, no older than 10. He was pale and thin, with eyes like dark pools. He didn't flinch as I approached, just stared at me with a chilling stillness. His silence was unnatural, unsettling. Something about him felt wrong. I knew then that the boy would change everything. The whispers on the wind seemed to agree. I took him home. What else could I do? He wouldn't tell me his name, just stared with those bottomless eyes. My wife Maggie was hesitant but agreed. We called him Samuel, a name lost to the wind. Strange things began to happen. Pictures fell from the walls. Whispers followed us in the dead of night. The air grew heavy, suffocating. Maggie swore she saw Samuel by the window, eyes fixed on the graveyard. One night, I woke to a blood-curdling scream. It was Maggie. She stood in the doorway, eyes wide with terror. "He's gone," she gasped, pointing a trembling finger at the empty bed. "Samuel is gone." Fear, cold and sharp, pierced through me. I knew in my gut that we had made a terrible mistake. The boy, Samuel, was not what he seemed. The silence had teeth, and it had come for us. We searched for Samuel, our fear growing with each passing hour. The townsfolk whispered about a curse. They spoke of a child lost years ago. The air grew colder, the shadows deeper. Objects moved on their own. The whispers grew louder. They spoke of death, of shadows. The town held its breath. Fear turned to panic. The townsfolk barricaded themselves in their homes. The silence was deafening. We had opened our home to something evil. The silence was now a suffocating presence. Samuel's silence had swallowed Havenwood whole. Days turned into weeks. The search for Samuel continued, but hope dwindled. The town was shrouded in perpetual twilight. The whispers had become screams. One day I found him. He was back by the graveyard. He looked up, eyes burning with eerie light. His voice sent chills down my spine. "They never listen," he said, "but they will hear me now." The ground began to tremble. The tombstones cracked and split. The earth opened up. The silence was shattered by screams. Samuel smiled, then he was gone. Havenwood would never be the same.